Owners need to have ball knowledge in order to own a team, because if they don't, they end up comparing a Luka Doncic trade to a Monte Ellis trade, and it blows my mind. You are the owner of the Suns. You're not the GM. Let your GM do his job. Bro, what's up with the Desmond Bane disrespect? I like Desmond Bane. He's a hooper. Let's relax on that.
Booker say about that? Well,
if you know me, you know who I am. If you don't, my name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to make different React content, whether that be to basketball, modern NBA, or different basketball creators in general. And I also like to make React content to YouTube, TikTok nonsense. So if you like brain rot, I'm the guy for you. And if you like basketball insight, I'm the guy for you. So with that being said, today we're reacting to AM Hoops. This Devin Booker situation is insane. So let's get this started.
Devin Booker said something that should scare every single Suns fan. After his 10th year in the league, the Suns didn't even make the play-in, let alone the playoffs. And guess what? They don't control their first-round pick. It goes to Houston. So I did a little tankathon.com. Oh yeah, most likely to land 10th or 11th, no big deal. Bam! In 10 tries, it goes number 3 in the draft. In the very next spin, it goes number 1. Seriously. Can you imagine going through that entire miserable season for the Suns and having nothing to show for it? 2-seed Houston gets your pick? So what did Devin Booker say? Oh, it is a gigantic red flag. But how did we get here? Well, Matt Ishbia was a walk-on at Michigan State, took over his dad's company, and became a billionaire. With that money, he bought the Suns. Now, at the time, Phoenix was a 64-win team. That is better than the Celtics this year. The Thunder were a 24-win team, worse than the Brooklyn Nets. But which team panicked and blew it all up? The crappy team with a ton of assets, or the good one? I mean, think about that. Like, the Thunder, 24 wins, they could have gotten any star they wanted with all their players and picks, but no, they chose to stay patient. And it's not like the Suns were old at the time. Outside of Chris Paul, they blew up a core that was 23 years old, 25, 25, and 25. What are we doing?
Well, it's very simple, you see. When you're an owner, I feel like this is just a fact. When you're an owner that has, like, no, like, true basketball knowledge or understanding on really how to form a good team, you're getting the flashy names. There was no reason to get Bradley Beal, especially when Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. If you're going to get Kevin Durant, I don't even think that was necessary. You don't have to have a bunch of names on one team. That doesn't even work anymore. Not in the modern NBA. You need a good team with good pieces. You need a deep bench. You need depth. You need size. You need shooting. You need defense. You need 3-and-D. You need it all. You need a good working system. And I think the problem is you'll get owners that don't know this. And yeah, that's why you hire a good GM, right? That's why you get a GM to do that job. But we all know at the end of the day what's going down. Like, yes, Nico Harrison was the one that committed the trade of Luka. But go ahead and look at the comments of this is gonna infuriate me. Go ahead and look at the recent comments of the owners of the Dallas Mavericks. Not only are they sticking on the fact that they needed to trade Luka, they're doubling down on it. You think that Nico Harrison is trading Luka without the blessing of the owners? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter if ownership, right? It does not matter if ownership gets a GM, because really owners are the GM at the end of the day. This ain't Moneyball, okay? GMs are not going behind their fucking owners back and doing what they want. It does not happen. That's not real life. But you know what does happen? Let me go back to the Nico Harrison shit and the owners of the Dallas Mavericks. If you listen to the Dallas Mavericks, they said this is no different than when the Warriors traded Monte Ellis to help them get Andrew Bogut, which led to them getting a championship. You just said, like, Luka is equivalent to a Monte Ellis trade? Are you serious? So you don't know ball. You don't even know your own player. So yeah, I just feel like with these owners, they're their own enemy. Because if you're a good owner, step out the fucking way. Let your GM do his job. Hire a good GM that knows what he's talking about, that knows what he's doing, and let him do his job. Because when you step in to do yours, you had a good core here and you threw it away for no reason.
Well, it's ironic that Matt Ishbia, who made his fortune selling 30-year mortgages, is this impatient. The man thinks the rules do not apply to him. It surprises me that other people, other fans, they actually like the rebuild process. Like, oh, let's rebuild it. Are you crazy? You think I'm going to go for 7 years and try to get there? You enjoy those 2030 draft picks? I want us to win today. What? Like, he's basically being like, see, I want to win. No one else does. Yeah, right.
Everyone wants to win, but it's about doing it the right way. Like, I swear, these owners have no ball knowledge. That's just it. Owners need to have ball knowledge in order to own a team. Because if they don't, they end up comparing a Luka Doncic trade to a Monte Ellis trade. And it blows my mind.
Everyone wants to win. It's just a little more complicated than that. And now Suns fans are like, we need to fire our GM. I can't believe he put us in this mess. No, Matt Ishbia is your GM, okay? Like the dude James Jones who has GM on his business card, yeah, that might as well say puppet. I mean, Ishbia played a little basketball in college, and now he thinks he is better suited to run an NBA team than a guy who literally spent his entire life to get that job. So no, it doesn't matter what GM they put in there, okay? Matt Ishbia is clearly calling the shots. That's exactly like the Nets when KD and Kyrie were there, right? We knew Sean Marks was the GM, but come on. KD and Kyrie want to get rid of Coach Kenny Atkinson, so they hire Steve Nash. KD and Kyrie wanted to trade everything for James Harden, so they did it. How did that work out? They could fire the GM and the coach every single year. It's not going to make a difference. But what happens to patient teams? We already talked about OKC, but what about the Lakers? Like Rob Pelinka, for years, refused to burn picks, even if it pissed off the GM, right? Like, no, we will not trade for DeJounte Murray, and we're not going to send out Austin Reeves in a package for Kyrie. Then they have enough to land Luka Doncic. Amazing. Or the Warriors, right? Like, people, including me for years, were like, you need to burn your picks to...
I'm happy that the Lakers got Luka. I think it did work out for them. But let's not play games, okay? Let's not give the Lakers more credit than they really deserve. All right, because they're the ones that went out for Westbrook, and then they tried to backpedal on that and say actually that's LeBron, and then backpedal some more and say actually it's on us. We're the owners, not LeBron. Like they tried to have their cake and eat it too. Let's not act like they didn't do that. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not act like Genie Busting, get on an interview and try to say LeBron doesn't own this team, we own this team. But then we got Westbrook because LeBron wanted let's keep it a bean. Let's also keep it a bean. They did not think... You can be patient as much as you want. No one thought they were going to get Luka. No one thought they were going to get Luka. Even the most delusional Laker fans that were fucking photoshopping Luka in a Laker jersey, okay? Even the most delusional Laker fans did not think Luka was actually coming there. They just posted it because they know it made people pissed off. They probably even looked at their phone when that Luka trade happened and went, oh shit! So let's not give them too much credit there, huh?
Help out Steph Curry. No, they remain patient. Got Jimmy Butler. Now, some people love Ishbia because he's not Robert Sarver, the old owner who was like so cheap that it killed the team. But just because this new guy spends money and he loves basketball doesn't mean he's a different kind of bad. Like, he cares and he loves the game. How is that bad? Well, his ego is running the team, not actual basketball people. It's dysfunction, but with a higher price tag. So what happens next? Well, a new report says the Heat, Nuggets, Spurs, and Warriors are teams who could show interest in Bradley Beal when the Suns buy out his max contract. When they buy him out. Really? Well, Beal is owed over $110 million over the next...
God damn. Again, you wouldn't have to buy him out if you didn't trade for him in the first place. This made absolutely no sense, and anyone with basketball knowledge could have told you this, Ishbia. Ishbia, you are the owner of the Suns. You're not the GM. Let your GM do his job.
Next 2 years. They could buy him out and eat about $80 million of dead money, which would make it even harder to build around Devin Booker. And what about trading KD? Well, a fascinating post on Twitter. A fan told KD, yo, we don't want you off our team, but what choice do we have? We can't run it back, obviously. You'll get us the best return, respectfully. And Durant was like, respectfully, yeah, I get it. So Shams says 5 teams have interest. The Heat, Spurs, Rockets, Knicks, and Timberwolves. But Brian Windhorst said, not so fast. The reason KD wasn't traded at the deadline, Phoenix wanted a massive haul. So everybody was basically like, no, that's too expensive. Well, what if that's the case in the summer? And all the Suns could get is like 2 picks and a good role player, or like 2 good role players to surround Devin Booker with. Like, what if it was like Jabari Smith Jr. and Reed Shepherd if KD went to the Rockets? Or the Spurs, Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. Grizzlies, Desmond Bane and G.G. Jackson.
Desmond Bane would be a good pickup. I like Desmond Bane. He plays well, and I think he played well, I would say tonight, but it's like 2 a.m. wrapping these videos up. He played well against the Warriors last night. So I think that'd be a good pickup. I think the Spurs, this would be a good pickup as well. I mean, these aren't terrible trades. Except this Heat one. I don't like this Heat one. Duncan Robinson, no, I don't like this one at all. But I mean, these so far are not bad ones. I'm leaning more towards this Memphis one for sure. I think the Rockets one wouldn't be terrible. I lean towards the Spurs one second. So I'd go Memphis, Rockets, Spurs.
Oh, where Duncan Robinson? Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke.
No. No, I'm saying no to that one. Absolutely not.
Najee, those are the kinds of trades that people are talking about. Dude, you're not going to compete with OKC or the Lakers, the Warriors, or the Timberwolves. At best, the Suns would be like a top 6 seed. Oh, so you just make a different trade. No, the Suns control 0 of their own draft picks to trade until 2032. So good luck with Devin Booker and Desmond Bane, buddy. I'm sure that's going to be great. So what did...
Bro, what's up with the Desmond Bane disrespect? I like Desmond Bane. He's a hooper. Let's relax on that.
Booker say about that? Well, when speaking to The Ringer, Book talked about being almost 29 years old, most of his career with the crappy Suns, and I will never be in a rebuild again. Really, because you might not have a choice. The Suns are in one of the worst situations we have seen in NBA history. Consider this, finished outside the top 10 as the most expensive roster in NBA history and don't have control of their first round pick. Is that not the worst season in NBA history? Plus, they're about to fire Coach Mike Budenholzer. That'll be 3 head coaches in 3 years. A dysfunctional franchise yet again after the finals 3 years ago. And Book went through this already as a younger player. Never making the playoffs, new head coaches. Does he want to do that again? No, he just said this. And when Matt Ishbia figures that out, and he's about to, he might be forced to trade Devin Booker. Then there's what he said after the final home game of the season. Suns had nothing to play for, but Booker still suited up. Why? Well, it took a real Suns fan to be there tonight. I pay real respect to the person that was either their first time or maybe their last time seeing me play. Or the last...
Damn. I mean, if you do a package with KD and Devin Booker, you can get a really good return. You can get a very good return. It depends on how you craft that deal. And I don't think you could trade them together, honestly. Especially hitting that second apron. I'm going to be honest, though. I mean, it wouldn't be terrible. Look, if the Suns are going to rebuild, just fully rebuild. If Devin is feeling this way, just fully rebuild, dog. Just rebuild. Call it. Just call it. Like, why do this? Why do this to your team? Why do this to yourself? Why do this to Devin? If you're gonna be in rebuild mode, just be in full rebuild mode. Do not sit here and try to force Devin Booker to be part of your team when he clearly does not want to be part of your team. So, I am interested to see what the Suns do, but they can get a decent return and they can make Devin's life easier. Now, what teams? I don't know. I didn't think Devin was even going to be on the block. I'm not sure what his contract looks like. I'm not sure where he could go. Type of pieces they can get in return. I would actually have to sit down and look into this before. I didn't even think this was a possibility, but it is interesting for sure. And I think there's many teams that I think every team would love Devin Booker. I'm a Bulls fan and I'd like Devin Booker. Like, it's a good trading piece. So if you're looking to rebuild, that's the way to go. But hey, Ishbia says he's never going to rebuild. He doesn't like rebuilding, and Devin says he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. So, unstoppable force, immovable object. Like, what we gonna do, huh?
Last time? What does that mean? Some people are like, oh, it's nothing. He just meant they'll never be able to come to another game. But these NBA players are calculated. They know every word will be dissected, and Booker said it for a reason. Everybody loves like a one franchise player, but Book said himself, he's not going to do another rebuild. And think about it, like Book is going to be on the verge of 30 to start next season. His trade value may never be higher. You got to do it. They could package KD and Book to Houston and get all their picks back, plus a good young player like a Jalen Green, maybe even a Reed Shepherd in there. You are not going to get better than that. And I think Book would initially be really sad, like Luka, who truly loved Dallas. But dude, KD and Book on the 2-seed Rockets would be elite, like championship level. The coach is amazing, top 5 defense. The one thing that Houston's been missing is a closer like Book and KD. Like they've got number 4 defense with guys like Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks, but no killer closer. It is perfect. I think pretty soon Matt Ishbia's ego is going to get humbled when his back is against the wall, and the only move left is to move Devin Booker. But things are doing great in Golden State and Cleveland. And a huge part of that, both stories this year, is defense, right? Evan Mobley, Draymond Green, both candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. But how did Draymond go from out of the picture for Depoy to the favorite in just 21 days? The answer is pretty concerning.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Matt Ishbia just seems like an owner that's willing to. He's willing to make the team suffer to not look stupid. Like people with egos, it's hard for them to actually back down off their egos. That's so I don't see. I honestly don't see Devin Booker going anywhere, but I don't know if I see KD going anywhere. Because Ishbia is one of those people that's like, if I can't get what I want, no one gets what they want, and yeah, that's it. I truly feel like this is going nowhere. And it's sad, but I think KD is stuck. And I think Devin is stuck until their contracts run out. I don't think they're going anywhere until free agency. I'm so serious. I'm so dead ass. Because I just don't think they want to. I don't think Matt Ishbia is an owner that's like, oh, let me get something versus nothing. I think he's more of an owner that's like, I don't care if I get nothing. I'm going to make sure that I don't look stupid in the process of giving something. Like, that's it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this team. We'll see what happens with the Suns. But it was extremely disappointing to see how high the Suns' ceiling was at the beginning of the year. To be in talks of like the Lakers, to be in talks with the top teams in the West, to just drop. It's unspeakable, bro. The Suns should have been in a. The Suns should have been in the playoffs, really making hell to certain teams. The Suns should have spoiled a championship contender's chances, but instead, we're talking about whether or not Devin Booker and KD is even going to be a Sun in the next year. That is crazy. But we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you for liking my content. If there's anything else you want me to react to, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Until next time, friends, I love you. I'll see you. Goodbye. Peace out.